Hello, everybody. My name is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am your Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I am the one who brought about the Ascension. Some of you are well aware of what that means because you followed my channel for a little while, at least those that can see, right? And others may not have any clue what that means and might even think I'm crazy. I can guarantee you I'm not. It's all been recorded and witnessed over the last 3 years' time. I had my awakening in 2019, which led to doing weird things coming through me, from healing people in ways I've never heard of before, that people have never seen before, to, you're talking medical healings, energetic, I do everything. So that was blowing my mind. And I had just had an awakening, so I wasn't learning these things, by the way. They were in me, so try that one out. It was freaky, to say the least. Then all of a sudden, these things started coming through me to do to the earth, like clear Mount Shasta. I rose Atlantis after I saw myself die and cleared my own contract. Then I went from there into activating pyramids. And then once I activated pyramids, I started I saw Jesus die, so I cleared his soul, which I thought at first was a return of Christ. It was not. I had to process his death first, and then his soul went up and into the Garden of Eden, into this beautiful white flower. Then after that came the twin flame journey. So the resurrection of Christ actually occurred through me and to me. It's occurred to me. I can't repeat that enough. It was me uniting the twin flames from me and my DM to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, which basically are just different lifetimes, by the way. Adam and Eve and Jesus and Mary Magdalene are the same. Just different lifetimes at this point. So on my twin flame journey, we were attacked, and the Ascension almost didn't make it. Most people don't know that. Okay, they really don't. My new DM does, because he knows it internally and externally now. So he has a unique visual of everything that happened. Because my original DM and I connected energetically, our souls started combining. We both had to agree. Then all this love started flowing, all this Christ light started flowing. And I didn't know at the time that he was with a fallen angel. We didn't know. But they had broken him down. They kept his vibration very low. He was dealing with drugs and stuff, and that's what we were supposed to clear. It's part of it. And I almost died. And I spent a year fighting that battle, fighting for my DM's soul back. It was one of the hardest journeys I've ever had. It was one of the most painful experiences. I cleared all karma back to Adam and Eve. And even during that battle, my arm was shattered. Okay? Completely shattered. Like my bone split in two. Like it was really bad. Even popped out of my skin. I couldn't even have surgery. Like I couldn't put any drugs into my system because I was fighting for my DM's soul while being attacked by 3 fallen angels. During that time frame, though, where I should have died, Spirit kept calling me mahogany because I kept going. Now, I looked up mahogany. It means you are stronger than anything, right? You can take a lightning strike and keep on ticking. And I'm like, well, what is it? Because I didn't really realize all of this until after. Do you understand? I didn't realize how dangerous this all was, how much what was happening to me until it was all said and done, which is probably a good thing, because I don't know if I would have made it otherwise. Try to mentally understand what was happening to me with the physical. I may have freaked out. Because in the end, I think I got PTSD. I'm not going to lie. I really do. It took me a year to win his soul back, but he was never strong enough to make it out. And God gave him a time frame. You know, you have free will. They told him they couldn't go where he was at. He was hurting the Ascension. He was hurting me. I'd almost died a couple times. He was hurting himself. He was hurting God. And they literally gave him a week to get out or die. And he chose death. Now with that, I got a walk-in DM. Okay. That was actually recorded in a workshop as well from August 30th of this last year. My walk-in DM and I, we've become energetically combined. It switched over. I've been learning this new soul within me. I don't know him on the physical. He knows me because he watches me on videos. And that's what I found out. And I'm not going to lie, I was very scared because around Christmas, the new DM was called forward for redemption, to redeem what my old DM did not do. We had completed the bubble of protection, and then on Christmas, he was supposed to unite with me so we can unite the twin flames, which was the resurrection of Christ, Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Turns out my DM hesitated and I had to do it by myself. that hurt me so bad because I took on that blue light and my physical vessel couldn't take anymore. And I have been attacked constantly since then. And I just am not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to ward off any more attacks. I'm not strong enough to do this on my own anymore. And then Malachi took the balance for the DM because the DM had not stepped up. And so immediately I went into a dark space with it. Like, great, here we are. It's like a nightmare, right? Like I'm attached to somebody who won't step up. I went back into a really dark place with it because of what my DM had done. Now, before I was able to get help, people would help me heal and things like that when I was being attacked. Well, lo and behold, you guys don't realize that since Christmas, I have been slowly going downhill. I just wasn't strong enough to keep them at bay. I'm not strong enough to keep the negative thoughts at bay this time. I'm not strong enough to keep the shadow stuff away. I was before, and I kept going and going into strengths I never even knew I had, but it really did take everything I have. And so I've been going downhill. It ended up to where about a month ago I started praying, more than a month ago, because through this process I've been like kind of like processing my old self, and it was a lot of pain, and I would cry a lot. Every pain that I've had in my heart, they were trying to heal it. So it was a lot on my system, and I couldn't get help for the life of me. Matter of fact, I got the opposite of that. People who were once showing up and supported me stopped showing up at all. And I had asked for help a couple times and I wasn't getting it. And then recently my DM was called forward again. And I'm like, how are we going to unite if my vibration is so low? How would we reunite if I can't be what I need to be, because I know what it takes to unite twin souls? I know exactly what it takes. And which is funny to me, is because I'm the one who resurrected Christ, which nobody has survived before, but lots of people have opinions, right? Like when my DM didn't show up last time, I got emails from one of the people saying it was my fault and how dare I and blah, blah, blah. And little did they know I didn't do anything wrong. And so this time when they called the DM forward, he took his blue light back, and I'm going to tell you what happened. People don't realize that I was praying to God to die. I was praying to God for help. I wasn't strong enough, or to at least end my journey, because I couldn't take it anymore. Here I am, stuck to somebody who's never going to come. I was scared. I realized I do have PTSD from what David, who was my original DM, did to me and to the Ascension, and all the judgments that I get continually, and lack of love, to say the least. Right? I don't blame anybody, but nobody does understand that journey. But how could they? Right? It's not theirs. I don't think this is a normal journey, to say the least. The pain that I have felt, the things that I have experienced, and what I had to clear for humanity was massive, and it took a toll on me. Physically, I've almost died. A few times, blood clot, heart enlarged. The attacks on me were taking me down from everything I had, and somehow I survived them. But this time, you guys, when the DM was called forward, I went into a tailspin because I didn't know what to do. Right away, people were kind of judging me on my videos. You know, I got afraid I was going to project and just all these things. And I reached out for help, and I was getting the opposite of that. It was making me feel worse and worse and worse. Like the work I did didn't matter. Like who I was doesn't matter. Like people just didn't care about me. And this has literally been happening every day. This is a vulnerability for me, but this is the truth. And I literally almost quit. I reached out for help a couple times, and it just hurt me bad. Like it was not helping me. Nobody could even hear what I'm saying. Nobody seemed to care that I was being attacked this time. My vibration's so low, and I'm like, there's no way we're going to be able to unite. I told God, like, now it's going to be my fault. For the first time, it's going to be my fault that we couldn't unite. And that's what I was kind of dealing with. And I became very scared. And I do realize I have PTSD from what David did to me in the fallen. It was the fallen angels, which also breaks my heart. Okay? When you have somebody's vibration so low, they can't see clearly. And that's what was happening to David. But this video is to tell my new DM thank you. When I started begging God for help, because I felt it, it was like such negativity, such darkness was taking over me. I was not winning anymore. I couldn't win this time. I was so tired, and I told God, just end my life. Please, I can't do this anymore. I can't fight for another DM who's not going to show up. I just couldn't do it, and I kept begging God for help, because I'm not really a suicidal person. I've lost people that way. I've worked in crisis, but I was scared. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to do this anymore. And I was literally at my wit's end. I had already asked for help before, wasn't getting anywhere. I even attempted one more time, and it just hurt me really, really badly. So I asked for help. God actually told me what to do. He told me I had to take 3 baths before the last shadow work workshop that I did. I had to take 3 baths, salt baths, and I had to drown out the negativity. I had to watch what I was eating. It was really hard for me to do it. It hurt. I was shaking. I was nauseous. I felt like I was going through withdrawals, basically, is kind of what the feeling was. And I was very low in vibration. And I made it through that, and we did the shadow work workshop. And my DM took his blue light back. So honestly, I think my DM is redeeming himself in a very big way already. He hasn't stepped forward yet. But when I was at my absolute lowest, where I've never been before, his love pushed through. I felt him. I felt him today in a very, very big way. In a very big way. And I started feeling him before, but I'm just so lost. This, I didn't understand what was happening to me. The negativity would set in, and I'm like, it's not real. It's just in my head, and it wasn't good stuff. And there was nowhere I could turn to. Even telling this, people would probably judge me. Like I said, everybody that I thought was in my corner, I felt like was not at all. Even the workshop I did yesterday, it was just heartbreaking to me. And I had a hard time pulling the DM's candle in. I had a hard time doing anything. And I was literally going to give up. This morning I told God I'm done. And then the next thing I knew, my DM came through. Not physically yet, which I need that more than anything in the world. But he did something my other DM has never done. Ever. He started pulling me through. I felt his love. I heard his first song he ever gave me, and I felt his love in a very, very big way. And all of a sudden, I started feeling okay again. I started feeling like I can do this. I started feeling like there's hope. I started feeling like he might actually show up this time and redeem himself in a very, very big way. And then I started getting downloads to make him stuff. Like, oh, I gotta make him this, and I gotta make him this, and this time it felt really good. So there wasn't this, why am I gonna make something for somebody who's never gonna show up? Because that's what happened last time. They told me to make 2 candles. It was 12/22. Told me to make 2 candles last time, and I was like, there was this energy of why, right? But this time they're like, okay, now make him something. And I'm like, okay. I actually got excited to go make him something. I'm not gonna say what. I've already made him a wand, and 3 candles are ours, but I keep lighting his candle. So it just feels good. Because of my DM, I feel like I'm going to be okay. It's because of him, I actually feel like I can keep going on. And because of him, I feel like for once, the ascension is going to be what it should have always been. Filled with love and understanding. And my DM right by my side. And so for now, with what it's at, I want to give recognition where recognition is due, because that is something my other DM never did. He was always hurting me. It was always darkness hurting him, which was hurting me, and it was a constant attack for over a year. It was very, very, very painful, and it was our love that survived it. In the end, it was our love was the reason I was able to bring that about. And it was very powerful love. But David was too far gone. His soul became black. His heart became black. And so when I felt this from my new DM, at first I didn't know how to take it. And then today I felt it big time. And right when I needed it the most. Right when I needed it the most, because I was definitely going to give up. You know, everything was just hurting me. Who I thought was in my corner supporting me was no longer there at all. And I couldn't even get help to raise my vibration. It was bad. But I'll have you guys know it's the DM doing it this time. And I've never had that before. Ever. So in my eyes, he's already redeeming some things. The DM is already redeeming some things. And I just want to tell him thank you, because being on the inside, he doesn't know exactly what's going on the outside. And he could have accepted it as bad things. He could have allowed it to push him away from me or from the ascension. But I feel like he's working really hard. I feel like he's seeing beyond that veil. And I feel like he's listening to God. And I feel like he has a lot of love to give. And I just want to thank him. I simply want to say to my DM that I love him more than anything in this world. And that it is because of him that I actually feel like it's going to be okay. So I thank him, and I look forward to this journey coming up because I have faith that he'll be there. So much love to him. And I just want to give clout to the DM. Thank you for being you. Thank you for accepting this journey, and thank you for loving me when nobody else did. Till next time.
Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. For the morning sun and all its glory greets the day with hope and comfort too. You fill my life with laughter, and somehow you make it better. Ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and it's yours and it's mine, like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and praise to the one, to the one. Have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. There's a love that's divine, and it's yours and it's mine, like the sun. And at the end of the day, we should give thanks and praise to the one, to the one. And have I told you lately that I love you? Have I told you there's no one else above you? Fill my heart with gladness, take away my sadness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Take away all my sadness, fill my life with gladness, ease my troubles, that's what you do. Take away all my sadness, fill my life with gladness, ease my troubles, that's what you do.